We've arrived at Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. It is super crowded here on a Sunday. We're going to go down to the historic entrance of the cave. So it is April 7th, 2024, and it is highly recommended that tickets for the cave tours are purchased in advance. But they said for summer and fall, so I assume that at this time of year, not a big deal. But like I said, way more crowded here than I thought. But we did get onto a tour for tomorrow morning, a very short tour. And then after that, we'll take a look at the solar eclipse that's coming. So we're descending down to the historic entrance. They said we can go into the cave a few hundred feet without a tour. So we'll take a look. All right, so the first thing you notice is the cool air. Very, very cool breeze coming in. This is the self-guided tour. It's about 3/4 of a mile out and back. Let's check it out. And they do have bats in here. Let's see. So we're approaching the first big room, which is called the Rotunda. Very dimly lit, as you can see. Hopefully we can get a shot of something. All right, we're in the Rotunda area, and this is the saltpeter vats left over from when this area was mined in the early 1800s. We're in the main area, the Rotunda, the first big room on the self-guided tour. Up here on the left is, I think, what they call Little Bat Cave. Right in there. And it looks like we're coming to the second big room, and that's going to be as far as we're allowed to go on this tour. And this is a huge rock fall. They call it Lookout Mountain, and this blocked a cave tunnel right there. Something we don't need now. All right, so we're on our way out. Very interesting, short, self-guided tour. Just to get a sense of this Mammoth Cave. And super crowded on this Sunday, April 7th. But enjoyable even so. Well, it's morning here at Mammoth Cave Campground, and it's about 8:30 in the morning. I decided to take a walk down the White Cave Trail, about half a mile each way, and just explore. I found these interesting little plants here, something a little unusual, never saw before. I've walked about a half a mile from the campground. We've come to this junction in the trail. To the left as you see, is the Echo River Spring, about a half a mile away. And I believe that's where an underground river flows out into the Green River. And we're going to head to the right here and hopefully find this white cave not too far away. What's very interesting as you walk around these trails is that there are 426 miles that have been discovered of Mammoth Cave tunnels. So you know you're walking above these underground caves. So we're going to try to find White Cave. I think there's almost 30 entrances into Mammoth Cave. Yesterday we went to the historic entrance, and it looks like, bingo, just like that, we found White's Cave. Only a few steps away from that junction, and you're not allowed to go into this cave. It's even gated there. There's a problem with, I think it's called white nose disease that spreads to the bats here. So for safety and for the health of the bats, you can't just go into any cave to stop the movement of, or the spread of that white nose disease. So here is the entrance into White's Cave. Awfully dark. I don't know how these cavers do it. That was a quick hike to White's Cave, so I decided I'm going to continue on a little bit. It's early in the morning, and I'm going to try to get to a point that's called Sunset Point. Being that we only have this last day at Mammoth Cave today, we'll see a little bit more. It is April 8th, 2024, and there is a total solar eclipse coming today that will cross the United States from Texas to Maine with the 100% eclipse. And right now at our location, it's about 97% totality. So that'll be coming in around, I think, peaking at 1 or 2 o'clock today. Right now it's not even 9 o'clock. Kat and I have another short cave tour to Frozen Niagara today at 11:30. And that runs about an hour and 15 minutes. So that's our activity today, this morning walk, the cave tour at 11:30, and then the eclipse around 2 o'clock, totality, near totality here. And I've reached the Mammoth Dome Sink. There are many sinkholes here. As you see from the diagram here, the water is funneled into that sinkhole and then drains down into here, and it dissolves, I believe, the limestone and creates shafts, vertical shafts. And you see that there are different levels of tunnels heading parallel to the surface. So it's not just one level of tunnel, but several. So this is the Mammoth Dome Sink, another feature of Mammoth Cave. You can see how there's a big funnel right here from the ridges above. Well, you may remember yesterday on our short cave tour in the historic entrance of the cave, we came to a point called Lookout Mountain, where there was a rock fall that blocked off a cave passage. And right now we are standing, as this sign says, 70 feet above that very point. So right below our feet, as I said, are the cave tunnels Pretty awesome. And there is the sun at a little after 9 o'clock in the morning, and the moon will pass in front of it in a few hours, near totality. We will not be able to take photos or videos. We don't have the filters for that, but we have the glasses, so hopefully we can see something. They're saying that the clouds will break up a little bit more as the day goes on, which might give a little bit more drama to the eclipse. But right now, early in the morning, we're going to head to Sunset Point. We've reached Sunset Point, and it really is an amazing spot. Beautiful view. May have to bring Kathy down here at sunset. You may see some of the rock strata out there, and again, I'm not a geologist, but perhaps that's the sandstone cap that makes the roof basically of Mammoth Cave. Sunset Point, Mammoth Cave National Park. And here near Sunset Point is the Old Guides Cemetery. It's a tribute to primarily to Stephen Bishop, an African-American slave who began offering guided tours here in 1839, along with several others African-American slaves at the time. And so he is buried here. He lived until 1857. And again, the courage of these men and women who explore these caves is remarkable. This is the Frozen Niagara tour. We just entered.
More. Now, earlier I said that I would talk about the living legacy of the cave. And that is true. It is a living legacy and testament to the processes that surround us. So take your time to choose a legacy.
Okay.
Mary, if you come down here, take a photo or two, let it sink in for about 10 seconds, then start making your way back up. We want to try and have a nice, steady flow of people today in and out of the Frozen Niagara. We want to make sure that there aren't any tourists bumping their heads and all. Start following me out of the Frozen Niagara, folks. Once again, so let it sink in for a little bit.
But, you know, people.
We exited the cave at the Frozen Niagara, and we're standing here with Kathy.
You got a bus coming.
And there's a bus. All right, so we exited the cave, and now there's an airplane. We've exited the cave at Frozen Niagara here at Mammoth Caves National Park, and we're standing here with Kathy, and we'd like to know your thoughts about your experience.
I really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful cave, very unique, very different. I really enjoyed it. It was really fantastic. Really an amazing place, and a wonder of the world, really. It's the largest cave, I understand, 430 miles of passages, and they're still discovering more. So it's beautiful. I highly recommend visiting.
Outstanding.
Now I'm going to put my glasses on and watch the eclipse.
Yeah, we have the solar eclipse beginning right now. It's a little after 1 o'clock Central Time here in Kentucky. And Kathy has her new fashion glasses on. And she's going to go look at the sun, which we see that the moon is partially covering it now, but we don't have the filter for the camera, so we can't quite show that.
And what did you think of the cave, Ronald?
I thought the cave was really interesting. I think it was much different than the cave I went in yesterday, the portion of the cave. It was more, I don't know, artistic with all the formations. But
Very,
I have to say, compared
interesting.
compared to Carlsbad Caverns, though, that Frozen Niagara was not even close. At any rate, it was good. I'm glad I did it. So the sun is up there, and the moon is beginning to cover it. But I don't think we'll see anything on this camera right now. What's so amazing about a total eclipse is that it's an absolutely silent event, and yet so many people are drawn to it. And right now here in Kentucky, in a few moments, it will be 97% totality on April 8th, 2024. We're standing outside the Visitor Center at Mammoth Cave National Park. An awesome moment. And the clouds broke at a wonderful time.
Well, not you though. You look perfectly fine. I'm the one who looks like an idiot.
Right now the eclipse is at about 97% totality, right around 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, April 8th, 2024. After experiencing that eclipse of the sun, I wandered over to this area, the Green River Overlook. And we're looking at the Green River, the longest river in Kentucky. 370 miles, part of which runs right through Mammoth Cave National Park here, and finally emptying into the Ohio River. So we're going to close this video, say goodbye to Mammoth Cave National Park from right here. Outstanding visit.